Today we have a new point. Basically it is from the heat chapter. Am I right? It is basically from the heat chapter, and this is the point which having last point of this chapter, and the name of the point is specific heat capacity. The name of the point is specific heat capacity. This is the point for the reason we have a very small activity. First of all, we complete this activity first of all, and then we are moved for the next one. Here, this is what it is called as the wax layer. What is this? It is a wax layer. A thick wax layer is there, and we have three sphere. We can say that the first sphere is made of an iron. Second, it is made up of the copper, and third, it is made up of the lead. Okay, lead. So there are the three spheres are there. What is the condition? These three spheres having the first condition, they having the equal mass. All these three spheres having the equal mass. And before kept on this wax layer, we are using boiling water. We take a boiling water in a beaker, and we just insert these three spheres in that boiling water for some time. It means that all these three spheres having the equal temperature also. So these are the two mandatory conditions. First, they having the equal mass, and second, they having the equal temperature. For the equal time, when we dip inside the boiling water, it means that the temperature of each sphere is of 100 degrees Celsius, and they having a fixed unit mass. They having a fixed unit mass. These two conditions are mandatory. And now we put up on a wax layer. When we put up in a wax layer, what happened here? The iron sphere goes deepest inside the wax layer compared to copper and lead. The lead having the least, and the copper, it is intermediate as compared to iron and lead. Why this happens? Because here although they having the equal mass and they having the equal temperature, still iron, I think so, here the iron absorb more heat compared to copper and lead. So the amount of heat energy absorbed by the iron, copper and lead, it is different, and this property is called as the specific heat capacity. Now it's time to design the definition of this point, which is called as the specific heat capacity. What is the definition? The amount of heat required, the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of a unit mass of a substance. Why you using the word? It means that it having the fixed mass by a unit mass of a substance. How much? Only by 1 degree Celsius. The amount of heat required to raise the temperature of unit mass of a substance by 1 degree Celsius. It is called specific heat capacity. Okay, so this is what the definition of the specific heat capacity. Specific heat capacity is denoted by a letter which is called C. Specific heat capacity denotes using the letter, it is called C. And if you want to decide how much amount of heat energy absorbed or it may be released by a substance, in the numerical we have the formula for this specific heat capacity to the amount of heat energy, either it will be absorbed or released. For the reason we have the formula M into C into delta T. I am writing one more time. It is, what is the formula? M into C into delta T. What is M? M nothing but the mass of the substance. C stand for specific heat capacity of the substance. Delta T stand for either increase in the temperature or decrease in the temperature. In short, change in the temperature. This is what the formula. If you have to solve the numericals, whether you have to like calculate either amount of heat energy absorbed or the amount of heat energy release during the change of the state of the particular substance, or whatever the factors are there, depending upon the which kind of numerical that you have to be asked. So this is the point called as the specific heat capacity. I hope you can understand with the help of very small activity. So if you understood, so please subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for the new notification. Thank you.